We're glad to have our 8th grade here. Today is a special day for Haleyville Middle School, and we want to honor all of our special guests that are here today. We have members of our central office staff. We have our board members, President Miss Donna Jones, and Miss Beth McAlpine, and Miss Chris Burleson. Let's give them a round of applause. We have Mark Forster's family, and we'll talk a little bit about our dedication in just a second. We also have Representative Proncy Robertson who is here, so let's give him a round of applause. And of course, all of our administrators and you guys who are very important. But today is a special day because today we are celebrating one of our own hometown heroes who paid the ultimate price for freedom for all of us. Mark Forster grew up in Haleyville. He was the baby of 5 children in the Forster family. I knew Mark from the time he was a very small boy because his brother, Thad, who has written several books and does a lot of the philanthropy work for their foundation, and I graduated together from Haleyville High School. Mark was also a special kid. He had a huge heart and a love for his family and his country. While Mark was serving as a full-time missionary in California, our nation was attacked on 9/11. As a young man of 20 years old, he was outraged by this act and knew that it was his calling to fight against terrorism. He received his college degree and then enlisted in the U.S. Air Force in June of 2007. Despite everyone telling him to go in as an officer, he wanted to enlist because he wanted to start from the bottom, and he knew his chances of getting to get deployed were better if he did this. He wanted the toughest job in the military could offer, and an Air Force combat controller was what he was looking for. Mark was deployed to one of the most coveted areas of combat controllers in May of 2010. He was awarded the Bronze Star of Medal with Valor for his heroic actions while engaged in ground combat against an enemy on the 6th of August of 2010. He was fatally wounded during combat on the 29th of September in that same year. He was awarded the Silver Star for his actions in that battle and also a Purple Heart for paying the ultimate price for freedom. He was killed in action alongside of one of his teammates. Jag 28, which is his call sign, and the only name many pilots knew him by, was immediately retired after his death. And this information, students, if you go to the Mark Forster Foundation, you'll see online it has much more information about all his awards and medals, and so I encourage you to do that when you go home today. In 2019, this marked the 20th year since Mark Forster graduated from Haleyville High School. And Veterans Day is coming up in November, so as a school district, we wanted to do something special for Mark and his family. So today, on October 22nd, 2019, we dedicate the flagpole here at Haleyville Middle School, as well as this memorial, so that for years to come, we will be able to see this memorial and remember that our freedom comes from sacrifices of others. And every time we pass this memorial, we should thank God for the men and women of our armed forces and pray that God protect our country and keep all of these men and women safe in the future. So we're going to do some other things today as far as this memorial, but in the next couple weeks, your teachers will be coming out and you'll be able to really see this memorial. We'll talk a lot about Veterans Day. And so I think this is a great thing for us to do to honor those people who have served and paid the ultimate sacrifice. At this time, we're going to have Representative Proncy Robertson come to the microphone, say a few words, and present us with a flag.
Thank you, Ms. Superintendent. Just want to say how proud I am to be here today. What a spectacular event for us to come out and honor our heroes. I hope y'all realize that we do live in the greatest country on the face of the earth. Do we know that? We don't always think about it every day, but she's got her problems. America argues about things and we get into one conflict or another. But I promise you this, she's still far better than number 2. This is the greatest country on the face of the earth. What makes it the greatest country on the face of the earth is our freedom that every one of us take for granted most of the time. And we're here today to recognize that what keeps us free for all of our history has been the men, the women who are willing to serve, who are willing to sacrifice, and ultimately many of them have given the ultimate sacrifice, as Mark did, so that we can have that freedom. The flag that we fly represents all of the sacrifices that they've made to protect us, to keep this a free country. So standing here today without fear of anyone attacking us is because of the sacrifice that Mark and his brothers and sisters have made while wearing the uniform for this country. So each time you guys pass by this flagpole here and you see this, what seems to be a simple little plaque, I want you to take just a second, because it's going to be here for decades to come. And remember the sacrifice that he made and the freedom that you have because of it. So today, on behalf of the state of Alabama, I want to do two things. One is to offer a state flag to fly under the American flag here as well, to show that Alabama's respect as a state for those American soldiers that keep us free. And secondly, you make a small donation through I've got a community service grant that I'd like to give to the superintendent to help go toward the help with this from the state of Alabama. And Ms. Holly, if you come, I'd like to give that to you. Thank you. And I know they're going to hoist that the American flag up in a minute, oh glory. And everyone, as it goes up this flagpole, there should be some pride come to you and remembrance each time you see that flag raised of Mark's sacrifice. So thank you all for being here today. Thank you for taking the time to honor our veterans and our servicemen and those who have given the ultimate sacrifice. And our Gold Star family that's here today, thank y'all for your sacrifice, for giving your son to this country and to our freedom. Thank you very much. Thank y'all.
If everyone will please stand. may be seated. At this time, we will have an essay read by one of our own students from Haleyville High School, Mr. Eli Dodd.
Why am I so lucky? Why do I live every day in ecstatic joy because of the circumstances I've been blessed with? Why do I get to feel freedom in the air every time I walk outside? I do not know. I do not know why God chose me out of everyone else to live this life. However, I do know how vital it is to take advantage of my position. My position consists of freedoms that are offered nowhere else on the planet. I have the opportunity to do what I love. I never fear the government, for the people are the government. The melting pot, which we call the United States of America, communicates views, lifestyles, and cultures, which blended together has made our country the greatest empire to ever thrive. But most of all, men and women who never knew me fight through the most adversity a person can experience for my well-being. Their bravery and desire for a free country are so powerful they will do, and do, die for us every single day. American poet Maya Angelou once penned, "It is time for parents to teach young people early on that in diversity there is beauty and there is strength." The United States' diversity has propelled us into sunlit horizons through our opposing viewpoints. We take the divergent ways of life, melt them together, and come out on the other side with a spectacular allure. This system has led to the greatest technological advances the world has ever seen. The melting pot brings brilliant minds from other countries into America, where their beautiful spirit is no longer held back by systematic circumstances, but propelled at the highest velocities to succeed. Although we come from and are from all over the earth, we are all on the same team with the same goal. We are all Americans and proud of it. Secondly, our lifestyles and cultures always give us sparkle to our country. The United States of America is a beautiful rainbow spectrum that produces magnificent light shows, which will always leave one breathless. The rest of the world is merely a dark night sky with no excitement or fascination, for their ways of life lack disparity. We are the exception. We are the fire, we are the lightning, we are the leaders of the free world who demand life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. We are the roars on Omaha Beach that scream, although we walk through the valley of the shadow of death, we will fear no evil. We are the love, they are the hate. We protect the lone child while they attempt to destroy him. So many countries on earth fear diversity. America thrives in its glorious endowment, for it is beautiful. At last, we have 1.3 million knights in shining armor who have voluntarily joined our military for protection of the way of life we all know and love. 1.3 million human lives who believe our nation's prosperity is more important than their own life, and it is their desire to live out that belief every day of their future. I cannot stress enough the value of our military. I cannot stress enough that our own men and women die for me and you every single day. We are here today because of the relentless fighting spirit of the United States Armed Forces. I'm speaking on behalf of the same men who walked into hell with an M16 on their shoulder and a picture of their family over their hearts. These are the same men who fought through the freezing cold with little to no clothing behind George Washington because freedom trumped any grievous pain the earth has to offer. These are the same men who marched into downtown Berlin because the job was not finished until it was finished, and these were the same men who sprinted full speed into the burning World Trade Center because maybe there was still time to save one more life. These are the same men who are worth more than the stars. The nation I live in is my home and I love it. I'm more than honored to be able to say I'm an American. I get to live out the American dream every single day. I am the luckiest person on planet Earth. I do not fear because my country protects my life as if it were their own. I get to go to church every Wednesday and Sunday with no resistance. I get to live, laugh, and love with my friends with different religions and races. I get to live my life to the fullest of potential I possibly can. Thank God for my life. Thank God for the position I am in. And most of all, thank God for the United States of America.
Thank you. At this time, we would like to hear from a member of Mark's family, and his sister, Miss Terry Forster Cox, will come and speak to us for just a few seconds.
Thank you very much for having us here today. I just want to say a few things about Mark. When our nation was attacked by terrorists on September 11th, 2001, Mark was serving as a missionary in California. He was angered and felt a calling to serve our country by protecting us from this evil of ever happening on our soil again. He and his missionary roommate hung a picture of bin Laden in their apartment to remind them of the leader of those horrible attacks. and he never lost sight of his ultimate goal. He still had 1 year left on his mission, and then he had college to attend. Mark wanted to get his degree, which he did, in finance. When he graduated, he joined the military and committed to one of his life's missions of fighting terrorism and protecting our great country. It was several years from the attacks of 9/11 until Mark was finally able to take the fight to the enemy. He knew his mission and his goals, and he didn't waver. He finished his missionary service, graduated college, and then joined to magnify his calling on earth. I just hope that this marker can be a reminder of recognizing our goals and committing to doing what it takes to accomplish them. My family and I want to thank all of you for this wonderful honor for Mark and for all of those who have served and given to protect us and give us all of our freedoms that we have. Thank you so very much.
At this time, our high school SGA will come forward, and we do have a few things that we would like to give the family. One is just a picture of our memorial so that when they're at home, they can sort of see that and know that that is what is here in our schools and a reminder. And also, Mark loved football, and so our football team has signed a football, and we would like to present both of those to the family. At this time, we'll have some closing remarks by Ms. Jonna Jones, our Haleyville City Schools Board President.
Today, we dedicated this flagpole to our true American hero and our very own hometown hero, Senior Airman Mark Forrester. As Miss Holly Sutherland said prior to this, he was a graduate of Haleyville City Schools, the class of 1999, 20 years ago. I recall discussing our school board at our different working sessions. We wanted to do something. And for the past couple of years, we have discussed different things to do to leave a memorial to commemorate Mark Forrester and the fact that he graduated from Haleyville City Schools. The fact that Mark loved our American flag so much that he wrapped a full-size flag around the front and rear plate of his body armor prior to his last mission. That just kind of hit home with us, and we decided during the race that is staged each year here. It's a special event that we have in May usually. This flag was flying one day, and we discussed the fact that Mark's love for his country and the flag were so very important that what better way could we leave a memorial than to leave a flagpole that would fly that American flag. May we all be inspired by and faithful to the proud heritage, tradition of honor, and legacy of valor Mark Forrester set for all of us. And I was looking for different adjectives to use to describe Mark because I knew him personally and his family personally for many years. And this just kind of popped in my mind. Our flag colors are red, white, and blue. Red, of course, stands for bravery and valor. The white stands for purity and innocence. The blue stands for justice and perseverance. Those are great adjectives to describe Mark Forrester. Our flag does not fly because of the wind that moves it. It flies with the last breath of each soldier who died protecting it. And in closing, I want to thank everyone who participated in this very special event today. I hope you all will think about it. In years to come, you will look at this and remember this special day. And in closing, I'm going to quote Lee Greenwood. I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. God bless you all.
As Ms. Jones said, thank you all for being here. Thank you for your attention. You were great students. Thank you for our SGA and our student council, I guess, from Haleyville Elementary School, our Roaring Lion Band, who always does a phenomenal job, and everyone who came out to support this family and this dedication, because they do mean a lot to us and to our community. And so thank everyone who had anything to do with this, and also as well as our middle school for always hosting a part of the Race for Freedom when they do the supper the night before. And so they're very important to this community and to the running of this race. So thank you all for your attention, and I hope everyone has a great day.